fighting now. Good morning, everyone. And those of you viewing on YouTube, we'd like to welcome you to our meeting today. Whew. Congratulations, we've made it. It's May 1st. The ballroom is open to 50 people. I think we're getting there slowly but surely. Things are coming back to the old normal, let's hope. We do ask that you wear your masks while you're seated. There are placards on the table that explain that you should have their mask on unless you're eating. And if you're like me, you have to remember to take it off when you try and drink out of the water bottle. I keep forgetting that. Okay, and we are all socially distanced, so that's another safety precaution also. So I'd like to call this meeting to order, and if you would please stand, we'd like to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, the minutes for our April 1st meeting are posted on the website. They were also sent out by email. So I'm just looking for a motion to accept the minutes as posted. Thank you. And second? Got that. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, we are good on that. I would also like to introduce the board officers. I'm Peggy Marcone. I am the first vice president. Margaret Jacoby is our president, and she is vacationing in Hawaii. I'm kind of jealous that I had to stand here while she's enjoying herself there. Our second vice president is Sue Smith here on my right, and our secretary is Pam Williams over here on my left. And our treasurer is Walt Smiles, and he has returned to his summer home. But I am assuming that both he and Margaret are on the YouTube right now watching what we're doing. So, and that's a good thing to point out. If you feel inclined to run for office, a position on the board, you don't have to be a year-round resident. You can be a winter visitor. So just for information on that. I do have the treasurer's report. Sorry about that. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry about that. The balance as of April 1st was $437.27. We had one expenditure of $10 for gift cards for our meeting last month. The deposits from the 50/50 last month were $17. And another deposit for donations was $80, which we truly do appreciate. We are basically running based on donations to the LPGRA. So that was very nice. We thank you for that. So currently, our balance is $724.27. So I need a motion to accept the bank, what do I want to call it? The treasurer's report. Do I have a motion to accept it? Thank you, Joe. And a second? Thank you. And all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? So that has been accepted. Thank you. Next on our agenda is the old business. I thought we had people coming from Las Palmas as guests. Do you know about that?
No. He's here.
Oh, I'm sorry. With the mask on, I thought he was someone else. There you go. Okay, if you would like to come up and give us a report, Sally, you too, thank you. I'm sorry.
Hello, I'm Sally York, and I'm the volunteer coordinator for the Neighborhood Watch Program here at Las Palmas Grand. And I started working on this about 3 months ago, and I want to thank everyone for their patience. It's been a slow process to pull all the pieces together and coordinate with a lot of different people that are working with us on this program to launch it this summer. So the first piece has already launched. The LPGRA website, lpgra.org, has launched a web page on their website with our committee meeting minutes from our first 2 meetings and a list of related web resources related to crime prevention and neighborhood watch programs, and local Mesa police information, which is very important to us. So that has gone live in the last week or so. We'll be adding files to that page every month with updates, meeting minutes, so you can see how our committee is working behind the scenes. And at this point, this past week, the Las Palmas coordinator, Ellen Tryon, and I met with Dawn Blake at the Mesa Police Department. She's a crime prevention specialist, and we now have our neighborhood block captain training and an overview of the program scheduled here at LPG for Thursday, June 10th at 2 o'clock. And Larry Smith will be videotaping that so that if you can't make it in person or you just want to view it online and to get an idea of what's going on, we'll be posting that on the LPGRA website and on the LPGRA YouTube channel, the LPG Activities YouTube channel. So that's been, it's taken a lot of work to get to this point, and I'm really excited about that training. That will give everyone a current overview. The Mesa Police have made some slight changes to the program here and there, and Dawn Blake will be here with us, along with George Griffin, who I'll introduce in just a second, to provide that training and answer questions. This program is especially important as we move into the summer months. That's when the police incidents tend to increase as we have the vacant snowbird houses, which our neighboring, our neighbors around Mesa are aware of. Communities like ours tend to have the snowbird houses that are vacant, and that's when more incidents tend to occur. And especially last summer, there was a greater increase in the number of police incident phone calls during the summer, mostly due to COVID-related factors. So it is important to be aware of what we're doing, and you can be as involved as you want to be. The more involved you are, the better, but to even just be aware to support your neighbors as we move forward with this will be really, really helpful. Dawn did give us a recent update on current activities going on in this Southeast Mesa area, and the 2 things she wanted us to be aware of is, number 1, there's been a lot of car hopper activity, and what car hoppers are, she explained, is criminals, literally, who will scope out cars by checking for unlocked cars. They may not steal your car unless you leave your keys in it, but they're looking for anything they can grab and run away with that's sitting in your car, in your unlocked car. So please keep your cars locked. If it's in a carport or if it's in a garage, either one. Keep your cars locked at all times, and please try not to store anything of value in your car, especially guns or anything of value, because that's what they're looking for. It's like a shopping spree if they see things in cars. So please keep your cars locked. We haven't had any reports of that type of activity here at LPG, but we don't want to have any reports, so please keep your cars locked. And the other issue going on is catalytic converter theft. And I'm not an auto expert or mechanic, but this is something on the bottom of your car that requires tools to remove, and it's a hot item because it contains precious metals that they can get cash for. So what the police want us to watch for is any activity around cars at night, either car hopping or catalytic converter theft, but they will be carrying tools. If you hear any grinding or sawing noises during the night, they want you to call 911. They're really trying to crack down on this and trace where these converters are being sold. That's a very important issue at this point in time in our police community due to the number of thefts going on in other parts of Mesa. So please be aware of any activities during the night that cause noise, especially around cars. Keep your cars locked. Call 911 if you hear any grinding or sawing noises, or if you see anyone making contact with cars or properties. Unfortunately, we haven't had any reports here yet in our community about those issues, so we want to keep it that way. So now it's my pleasure to introduce the person who is leading the Neighborhood Watch programs for Las Palmas and Las Palmas Grand. And he's being assisted by two coordinators, myself here at LPG and Ellen Tryon at Las Palmas, who is unable to be here today. But we're doing kind of the behind the scenes organizing, coordinating, paperwork, so that George can focus on the important aspects of our program. So I'm going to let George introduce himself and explain his background and tell us why this is important for our communities. George?
Good morning. My name is George Griffin. Again, I live at Las Palmas. I'm the Las Palmas coordinator for Neighborhood Watch along with Ellen Tryon. I've lived at Las Palmas for going on 9 years now. When I moved there, we did not have a Neighborhood Watch program. My background, I ran a security company back in Connecticut, had 350 employees. We did sporting events, concerts, crowd management. I currently still do. I just did the Academy Country Music Awards. I'm director of security for that. In Nashville, we just did it. It's a live program. We did it in September, which was the first live show that was done after the pandemic. So when I moved there, not having a Neighborhood Watch, I felt, okay, this is something I can help my community, and I launched the Neighborhood Watch. It started out just myself. I kind of trying to educate the residents of things to do, not to do. Worked again with the Mesa Police Crime Prevention Officer. It's Dawn now. There was another officer there when I first started. So Sally reached out to me and wanted to know what we did over there because she was looking to launch it here. So we probably spent a good hour and a half on the phone. I asked her if she wanted the short version, long version. She goes, no, I want the long version. So we spent about an hour and a half on the phone, and I kind of told her things we do, things we don't do. We do, every year there's an event, it's called The Gain. It's getting Arizona involved in neighborhoods. It's a city-run event. It's a neighborhood block party. We started doing that several years ago at our community. The first year we did it, we had about probably 300 residents of our residents attend the event. It's a free event. City leaders will come out to our event. They promise that one representative will come to your event. Most of the communities, they do it as a block party. There's probably a neighborhood street, that's it. Ours was huge. Every year, the police come, the fire come, the vice mayor come, they all come to our event because it was one of the most attended. So if they didn't do it last year because of pandemic, not sure if they're doing it this year. If they do it, if you have the opportunity to have the event, I would suggest you support Sally in it and do this event. It's for the better of your community. I'm going to talk about Neighborhood Watch for just a couple of minutes and just give you a couple things that I think are important. It's important that you support your Neighborhood Watch. It's a thankless job that Sally does. I know I've been doing it for 8 years. I tried giving it up and nobody wanted it. So I continue doing it. I want to serve my community until I can't any longer. That's my goal. And Ellen Tryon, who assists me with all the administrative stuff, that's the part I don't like. I don't mind talking to people and educating people what to do. So she agreed to come on board. It's been a tremendous help. I think the plan that Sally and Ellen are put together is going to enhance our Neighborhood Watch extremely. One thing I want to say is thieves hate nosy neighbors. Be a nosy neighbor, okay? Some people don't like nosy neighbors. I want them surrounding me. I want them watching my house, watching me come and go, watch who comes to my house. Being a nosy neighbor is the best thing you can have in your neighborhood. Dusk to dawn lights, put dusk to dawn lights, light up your neighborhood. People go away for the summer, the whole street's dark. That's what criminals like. We live in safe neighborhood. This is a safe neighborhood. Cars aren't going to come in and drive around. The catalytic converter probably, we're not going to have that issue here because they need to drive in. They need to get under your cars. We're not going to have that issue. Doesn't mean don't be aware of it. Most of the thefts here, they're coming over our walls. Yes, we're in a gated community, but them coming over a wall is like somebody you and I stepping over a brick. That's how these young kids just hop right over. It's nothing for them. So leave your house lit up. You know, when you come home, if you have dusk to dawn lights, get LED lights. They're cheap to run. Your house is lit up while you're gone. You come home at night, your lights are on, it's lit. That's what you want. A dark street, it just makes it easy for them. Bicycles, if you have bicycles, lock them up, put them out of sight, put them in your shed if you can. Don't leave them out, because it's just, you're inviting, it's like putting bird seed out for birds. It's just inviting them to come and take them. I could go on for hours, but I know I'm limited here, so I just want to thank you for having me, and I think support, Neighborhood Watch is important. Please support it. Support Sally, ask her, hey, how can I help? If she's looking for captains, if it's not, we don't expect a lot from you. But give to your community and volunteer. That's the best thing you can do is volunteer and support it. And again, thank you for having me.
Are there any questions for either George or myself before we close? No? Oh, yes, Pam.
Ellen's last name.
Tryon, Tryon.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Nope. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally and George. That was very informational. Sorry about that. Our community is only as good as we make it. And I think this is something that is extremely important and very easy to participate in, whether it's just, like George said, light up your house at night, be aware, be a nosy neighbor. I like that one. Okay, next on our agenda here is the newsletter. I'm not sure if you all know, but we did have Sally Ann Crane that was in charge of the newsletter. She has stepped down from that, but we immediately found someone to replace her, and that is Dee Dees. Yes, her name is Dee Dees. First name is Dee, last name Dees. So she will be, she's written books. She's very, very good at this. So this is really going to, I think, it'll further enhance our newsletter. Shirley Ann has done a great job with the first one. The second one should be coming out May 15th without any problems. And that will also be posted on the LPGRA website. We are hoping eventually, if our coffers will allow it, to actually print some of them, because not everyone has access to Facebook or the internet. So, but that is dependent on how the finances go with the association. So that's the information that I have on that. There is, the deadline has already passed for putting any information in for this month's newsletter. This is different than the newspaper. The newspaper is put out by Thesman Communities. The newsletter is put out by Las Palmas Grand Resident Association. Okay, so that's different. Okay, any questions about the newsletter? Okay, next on our agenda is recycling, and Sue Smith will talk to us about that.
Good morning. I hope that you know by now that we have a recycling program. We've sent out a blast through the different email opportunities that we have here to let people know that for aluminum cans, we have a barrel that's at the garbage area on Juniper Hills. And we ask that you rinse your cans and then throw them in this barrel, and they will be picked up. And then the money will come back to us, and we will figure out how to distribute it. But right now, we're not asking that you smash your cans. You can put them in there whole. Just put them in there clean, and we'll have a recycling program. We hope by getting this up and running that we can go the next step and perhaps do plastic bottles. So we appreciate everything that people have done so far in recycling. Any questions? Thank you.
I had the opportunity yesterday to talk with Alan Smith about the recycling. I just wanted to add to this. I forgot to tell Sue. There are now 4 barrels back there. He said he's been getting an excellent response. He had 1 tin can that is not allowed. And he also had another small can. He says it looks like it might have been something that had cat food or something in it. Those are not allowed either. Even if you wash them out, we just can't take those. This is for like your beverage cans only, the aluminum beverage cans only. So he said, actually, he is extremely pleased with the response. He goes down there every couple days and takes out a full bag. The barrels are the big blue ones. Takes out a full bag of cans. He's been recycling them and getting the funds for it. It comes back to the resident association. The board is taking that money and will be depositing that in the account. And once the coffers are up there that we can support this program ourselves, then we will, at that point, determine where the extra funds are going to be sent. We're hoping to do it to some nonprofit. It's been brought up, the Homeless Vets, and also Sunshine Acres, that type of thing that we would donate these funds to. So Thesman was not for this when we started this. The management here was not for it. When Alan explained exactly how he was going to run it, they said, okay. They funded us to start this, which I think is excellent. And they are watching to see how this goes. If it goes well, they want a couple months under the belt to see how it goes. And that's when we would be able to expand it into the plastic bottles, which a lot of people have talked to me about saying, why didn't we start with the plastic bottles? The cans were easier, and so that's why we started there. Eventually, we don't know how far we can go with this, but we are looking for avenues to do that because I know recycling is a big issue. Okay, and next on our agenda there is our open items list. These are issues that were brought up by residents in the past that we have dealt with as a board. We have dealt with them to find out solutions for you. Our next meeting with them is next Thursday. And I will put in a plug right now. If you have any concerns, praises, questions, anything like that, I do have some forms up here on the desk or on the table. You just fill that out and submit it to the board, and we will take it to management. Management will never know who submitted that form. We do not share any of your personal information, your name, your lot number, nothing. So it's just, if we have that paper in hand, it's better than just saying, oh, somebody said to me. We have somebody who wrote it down, okay? It's not hearsay. Okay, so on our open items list, the first thing on there was the lease signing. Leases were supposed to be out in January. They are still not out. We thought by the end of last month they would be done. They're not. They're still in the works. Michael Thesman is reviewing them now. They're in the final stages of that. These were last updated in 2009. So you think about how things have changed in the world since 2009, and maybe that'll give you an idea about why it's taking so long to revamp this. I think COVID was a real big stumbling block that came along to get these things done on time. They have said there will be no rent increases. People have asked about that. There will be no rent increases just because the leases weren't signed. So whatever your rent is now, it will be. Okay, oh, and the recycling thing, that was also brought up. Alan is looking for someone to back him up when he goes out of town. It's someone that just would need to check the barrels, like maybe every couple days, maybe every 3-4 days. And if there is a full bag, remove the bag, and there's replacements in there for you. But he just needs maybe 1 or 2 people that are willing to just do that on occasion. It doesn't happen all that much, but if you're willing to do that, please give Alan Smith a call. His information, I believe, is still on the website about recycling. And if not, just contact a board member. Let them know, and we'll make sure that you get in contact with Alan Smith. He is a resident in here, so he is in the directory also. The car stickers. People were complaining that the car stickers were sheer. You couldn't see them. The guards were having some trouble noticing them as cars were coming through. So they have made new stickers that are white, and you can have your sticker replaced. If you put the clear one on your car, you can now get the white one. The guards have them at the guardhouse. You can stop there and ask for the sticker. They may stop you if you have a clear sticker to just let you know that the white stickers are available. And if you would like, they will replace the stickers for you. You don't have to do that yourself. They will do it for you. These make them much more noticeable. So it's easier for even residents to see when someone's driving by if they're a resident or not. So that was taken care of. And then our monthly complaint has to deal with the dogs and the dog park. There was a request made for changing the time that the watering was done. I guess it was being done right when people were there using the dog park with their dogs. And before we could even bring it up to management, they had already changed it. So that was changed to evenings. Now, that will continue until the summer heat comes and dictates that they need to do more watering than just in the evenings. So they're going to try and work it around times when the dog park is high capacity, so that won't interrupt you too much with your dogs. And I think maintenance is really on the ball with that. I mean, the fact that they got it done so quickly and they're willing to work with us, with the dog owners, to make sure that park is accessible to them. And every month, the topic comes up about people breaking the rules with the dogs. So I think the biggest one is dogs are not on leashes. If your dog is outside of your house, it is to be on a leash. That's the rule if you have a dog in Las Palmas Grand. I know a lot of people's dogs are really well trained and they don't leave your side, but when someone sees you walking with your dog without a leash, your very well trained dog, then it says, well, I guess I can walk my dog without a leash too. So we ask that you please leash your dogs if you're outside of your house. There's also clean up after your dog. It actually is not okay to have your dog go up onto someone else's property to relieve themselves, to mark their territory. That's why we have the dog park. So if you would please make sure that you clean up after your dog, even in the dog park. There's also areas that the dogs are never allowed in, and that is this complete circle here around the clubhouse. Dogs are never allowed on the grasses here, the sidewalks right around the actual community property here in the center, and they are definitely not allowed in the mailroom. Another thing is all dogs must be registered with the office, whether you had the dog when you bought here, maybe your dog passed away and you got another dog, that new dog needs to be registered. If you just decide to get a dog after you've moved in, you need to register your dog with the office. And there's also the question about service animals. Service animals are allowed in areas that support dogs are not allowed. So a service animal is a certified animal. They're specially trained. They wear a jacket. It has a registration number on it, and the owner will have a card that they would carry with them to show that that dog is a service animal. They will not socialize with people when they're walking around because they're working. It is a working dog. So I just wanted, there is a difference between a support dog and a service dog. So let me see what else. And again, both types of those dogs, certified service dogs and support dogs, that also needs to be registered with the office just so that they're aware of it. Okay, and then a couple other things that were mentioned, emails. If you are not receiving an email from the office, they send out emails through the office and through activities. And it used to be that there was one email address per household. Well, sometimes that doesn't work so well. You know, one person forgets to tell the other person that they got the email, or they delete it, whatever. So if you would like your email to be added to the list, just send a note to the office and they will add your email, and then you'll start getting an email every month or every time they send one out. There's also a separate one for the LPGRA. So if you would like to have the monthly letters and the notices that the board sends out, you need to notify us of that also. We're different. We don't have the same email that the office has. So if you would send a request to LPGRA board, it's all one word, @gmail.com. And I'll repeat that. It's LPGRA BOARD @gmail.com. And then we'll get you listed on our letters also. I don't know if you've noticed, but the coffee bar is open again. People wanted to know, when is the coffee bar coming? It came, it's out there. So you can stop and get your morning coffee right in the lobby there. We did have the blood drive last month. It was a huge success. There was only one cancellation that day. Otherwise, the schedule was full. I spoke with their representative, and he was extremely pleased. He thanked me over and over again for having that here. He said right now they are in dire need of blood. So they were very, very happy, and they're hoping that we'll do it again. And I suppose if there is interest within the community, if people want to do this again, you can come here to donate blood instead of having to go out to one of the blood banks for it. We'll pursue that with activities and get it arranged. It will depend on availability of space. Things are opening up more. There's more activities going on, so we do have to coordinate to try and get the space available when the blood bank is also available to come here, okay? But we can work things out if people are interested in that. We are continuing our drive for used eyeglasses, sunglasses, and hearing aids. I have another bag here growing. If you want to donate them, we do have someone that works with the Lions Club that will take those. And yes, they can rehab the hearing aids. I know some people have said they took theirs back to Costco and asked them to do it. And there was another hearing place, and they said, no, they don't do that. But there is someone affiliated with the Lions Den that will take those hearing aids in and rehab them for someone and donate them. So you can drop those items off at any one of the board members' homes anytime. So yes, we are going to continue with that. That will be ongoing. And then there has been several things on the Facebook Friends and Neighbors page about one of our residents, Kim Hussaby, or Hussaby, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. He was involved in a horrendous accident. It's been about a month, I believe. I do have here an update on his condition. I'll just read it as it shows. It says, "Please continue praying for our friend and resident, Kim Hussaby. As you may know, on April 12th, Kim was in a very serious accident while riding his motorcycle. While he was wearing a helmet and is an avid biker, he was blindsided by a driver who evidently did not see that there was a four-way stop sign. Kim was in ICU for about a week and a half and has now been moved to a long-term care facility in Mesa. At the most recent update from a dear friend who has been able to be with him on a daily basis, it sounds like his awareness is coming along pretty well, and he is showing some emotions. He is getting the best care possible, and while his life will be forever changed by this event, Kim has a strong love for life, and we know he is pushing within himself to get back to us. Again, your prayers and thoughts of his recovery on a daily basis are helping him. It is truly a miracle that he has made the progress that he has up until now, so let's all be strong for Kim. We will keep you updated as much as possible on Kim's progress and recovery." I talked with his neighbor this morning, and she said that he is in this long-term care facility, and they're projecting about a year that he'll be there. If you're not aware of who he is, he's the guy that walked all over this neighborhood. He had long hair, blonde or white hair, I'm not sure if you want to call it that, gray. Mr. Happy, he's always waving and saying hello. He'd stop and chat if you wanted to. He's just a very nice guy. So I have up here in front a card that anybody that's interested can come up and sign the card. I will mail that out to them or to him. We do have his address. It is on the Facebook page on Friends and Neighbors, but I also have it. Unfortunately, I didn't give Larry the information early enough to get this so that you can see it on the YouTube site, but I can read this to you. It's Kim Hussaby. His last name is spelled H-U-S-E-B-Y-E. That's H-U-S-E-B-Y-E. And that can be sent to KPC, Promise Hospital of Phoenix. And the address is 433 6th Street, Mesa, Arizona. The zip code is 85203. And again, that is on the Friends and Neighbor Facebook page where that was posted. So hopefully we can flood them with some cards and encourage them. It's very difficult to be away from friends, family, and neighbors for a year. So just keep that in mind. Okay, and that is the end of our open items list and any new items that I had. Is there anyone here that has anything that they would like to bring up? Yes, sir.
I have a question. Does your resident board communicate with Las Palmas resident board at all?
The question was, does our resident board communicate with the Las Palmas resident board at all? I don't know. I know there have been at times where Margaret, the president, has called to ask a question about something, but on a regular basis, I don't think so.
Could I make a suggestion
Yes.
that maybe you open that line of communication? This is something we've done with Neighborhood Watch, where you had break-ins at the mailbox. We knew nothing about that over our community.
Oh.
It doesn't get filtered down from management.
Okay,
Things that happen here, we're not always aware of happening there. I think there's an advantage to having that communication, whereas you talked about the barrels with recycling. Our veterans have a recycling at our community. So if you're having a hard time, there may be gains that we're making that they're resisting here. There may be gains that you're having here that they're resisting us. And it is Pleasant management, yes, they're separate communities,
Mhm.
but I think we get benefit by sharing that information between the two communities. And again, all of Pleasant, but if we start with our two communities, it's strength in numbers and we could maybe benefit from that. Just a suggestion.
okay. That was, I don't think that you could have heard that out on YouTube, but I'll try and give a short synopsis of it. That was George Griffin, the man that spoke to us about the Neighborhood Watch program. He has made the suggestion that perhaps our board might want to have more of a communication set up with the other boards from the other Thesman communities here in Arizona. And, like just sharing things, like they knew nothing about our mailroom break-ins. They have a different way that they do their recycling there through the veterans. So, that's something definitely that we could bring up at our board meeting next week and see if there's some way that we might be able to arrange that. Information, it's good to share information. They may have a little bit better idea on how to handle something, and we might be able to share our better idea with them. So I always think that it's good to have information. It's not like it would be forced on us. It's up to us in our community to decide how we would handle things. So I think that's a very good idea, very good suggestion. Thank you. Okay, anyone else? Yes, sir.
Two issues.
They need to come
First
up with
issue
a
with
front.
Can't,
regard
no.
to the gentleman who was hurt,
Yes,
still in the hospital. I think some of us here, we remember Rick, who used to be our Santa Claus here every year, who was killed.
Oh.
Rick. And because somebody got stopped in the stop sign
Hmm.
a few years back, I think we're gonna have many injuries if it doesn't stop. Bicycle riders do not stop at stop signs. 99% of the time, they do not stop, and I catch myself almost at least once or twice a week.
okay,
Now I just automatically stop.
okay.
Just let them go through, because I know they're not gonna stop. I think something should be passed on to the bicycle riders. And many times I have to dodge some of the bicycle riders, because they seem to think the mailroom is a shortcut to a pool.
Yeah.
Because they ride their bike without even getting off, right through the mailbox.
Okay,
Right?
okay, thank you very much for that. Oh, you got another one? Okay,
One issue, last issue, in regards to the complaint forms,
yes,
names are confidential and not shared with management.
correct.
Does that happen in reverse? Because without getting into detail, should the management not tell a neighbor who has complained about them in return? You know what I'm saying? If a neighbor calls the office about one neighbor, should the office not tell that neighbor that's being complained about who actually complained, lodged the complaint? Because all you're doing is starting bad blood and this and that, because we don't want to share the names don't want to be shared with management, but management should not share a person's name with the neighbors either.
Okay, your second question, he wanted to know if when someone makes a complaint to management about a neighbor, does management give the name of the complainer to the person that was complained about? That is a management issue, and I can bring it up at the board, we can discuss that at the board. Yes, thank you very much, Pam. She's handing him a paper to fill out for us also. So that we can bring that up to the board, and then we can report on that next month at our open meeting here. The first part of his question was about people riding motorcycles, bikes, and such. There was someone here by the name of Rick that used to do the Santa Claus all the time, and he was hit and killed by someone running a stop sign. And I don't know if that happened, that was before me. I don't know if that happened in the community or outside of the community. That was in the community? Okay. Kim's accident happened outside of the community. He was an avid bike rider. So he had a big bike, a very big Harley. And so that one happened outside of the community. But the second part of that was that bicycle riders within the community don't obey the laws of the road. And that one of the laws is if you come to a stop sign on your bicycle, you must stop. You're just supposed to do the same thing as if you were in a car. The way the roads are here, a bike go whizzing by, you're not always aware that someone is coming in the opposite direction. So please be careful. Stop at stop signs, look both ways if you're crossing a street, even if it does have a stop sign, because we know that people run stop signs. So the other thing is too, no bike ever is allowed in the mailroom. You cannot drive through the mailroom on your bike. You cannot walk your bike through the mailroom. There's no bicycles allowed ever in the mailroom. And hopefully people will take heed to that one. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the guard job it's a thankless job. They earn their money every penny they work for, right? But I've asked the guards a couple times, because I seen the guard sitting right next to me, watching these guys going through the stop signs on their bikes. And he says, "We're not policemen." I go, "Well, excuse me, with all due respect, sir, you're sure the hell is a good policeman when it takes time, when you go out of your way to throw the kids out of the pool when it's not their time to be in the pool. You yell at the kids to throw them out of the pool. So if you can yell at a 4 or 5-year-old kid to get out of the pool when they're not supposed to be in it, why can't you yell at somebody that's potentially hurting something or gonna,
Okay. It was brought up that the guard, he felt that the guards should, when they see people running stop signs, bicycles or whatever, that they should speak up and take care of the situation, the same as if someone has the children in the pool at the wrong time, that they should be spoken to.
God forbid if I ever park my car in front of my house, I'm getting a nice sticker on my window.
Right, there is no parking on any street in here after 10 PM. So you,
Time to do that.
pardon me?
They have time to put stickers on windows.
Okay. That, again, that is done in the evenings, on their evening patrols, because there's no parking on the streets after night. So yes, you would get a ticket. It's a notification. It's not a ticket like you get from a police officer. I know because we got one. The guards are guards. They are not police officers. They have no authority other than, they're gate guards. They look, and Sally, who's in charge of our neighborhood watch, has more information on this than I would. Yes.
Yeah, I asked Nancy what their titles are. Their title is courtesy patrol.
Thank you. Okay. Sally just supplied us with the actual name of what our guards are. It's called Security Patrol. Courtesy Patrol. They have just as much authority as you and I do, really. They're paid for their position, and we are homeowners and should take pride in our position. So thank you very much, Sally. I did Courtesy Patrol, the official title. I will use that from now on. Thank you. Okay. And thank you very much for your comments, sir. If I didn't give a proper response or you want a future response, make sure you fill out that form for us and we will take it to management and come up with solutions for you. Okay. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Are we good? Okay. Our next meeting is June 3rd. That will be here. And hopefully we'll have more people coming. We're hoping that we can seat up to 50 in here with no problem. Hopefully by then, maybe it'll even be more. So just FYI on that. And we do have the 50-50 raffle going. If you have not been able to get your ticket yet, please raise your hand and Sue will come around to take care of that for you. And we also have 2 door prizes and we'll take care of that in just a moment. I think that covers everything. If you need the forms, they're up here on the desk, one for the newsletter, one for complaints and compliments. And then there's also the card here for our neighbor, Kim. If there's no other questions, I am going to adjourn this meeting at this point, and then we'll take care of our drawings. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Okay, we're ready. Thank you. And thank you, Larry. Great job.